Our largest neighbour goes to the polls tomorrow in what will be the biggest single-day election in the world. The result in Indonesia will be closely followed here in Australia as a change of government in Jakarta matters in Canberra. It's one of the early races in an epic year for democracy in which nearly half the world's population will vote. But not all elections are equal, and Fiona Willan breaks down which will be the most important contests for Australians.
2024 is a historic election year. Nearly 4 billion voters are expected to head to the polls in more than 70 countries. Tomorrow, one of the most important races from Australia's perspective will take place when more than 200 million Indonesians vote for a new president.
Whoever is the Indonesian president really matters to Australia because they're a very powerful decision maker. They lead the third largest democracy on the planet, and they're a very close neighbour.
For 8 years under President Joko Widodo, Australia-Indonesia relations have been strong. But after 2 terms in the top job, he can't run again. And in the 3-way presidential contest, the firm frontrunner is a controversial former general. Prabowo Subianto was accused of atrocities in East Timor that once saw him banned from travelling to the United States and Australia. But the 72-year-old has reinvented himself with a soft grandfatherly image and dance moves popular with younger voters. If he replaces President Jokowi, experts say the diplomatic dance with Canberra will be difficult.
Prabowo, I think, is a more forceful, prickly customer, and he could quite easily get quite transactional with Australia and look to other partners.
The Solomon Islands is already looking at other partners. That's why the Pacific Nations election in April is crucially important to Australia. Last year, Prime Minister Manasseh Sogavare signed a policing pact with Beijing, heightening concerns over China's growing influence in the Pacific.
If Sogavare gets back in, there is no doubt he's going to accelerate his relationship with Beijing. We'll see Beijing police equipping and training Solomon Island police.
Between April and May, nearly 1 billion Indians will vote in the world's largest election. There, Narendra Modi should easily hold on as Prime Minister. While when it's time for the UK to vote, Rishi Sunak looks set to lose in a landslide. And in June, 27 countries will vote in the European Union elections, which could see a shift in Europe's support of Ukraine.
Individual leaders matter, and the decisions they make have ripple effects, even here in Australia. So the outcomes matter, and the leaders that we'll see over 2024 will shape our world.
The race that stops the world will run in November in the United States, a likely rematch between US President Joe Biden and Donald Trump. While it's not compulsory to cast a ballot in the US, more than 160 million Americans are registered to vote, and no poll will be watched more closely by allies and autocrats.